about the crucial swing state of Ohio. Everybody seems to think that Ohio is the key to winning the presidency these days, and it's true. No body, Republican or Democrat, has won the presidency in the last 50 years without winning Ohio. And no Republican has ever won the presidency without carrying Ohio. So it seems like it would be a very critical state. But has Ohio's influence over the political landscape diminished in recent years? It's now down to just 18 electoral votes as a result of the 2010 census. It lost 2 more congressional seats. But that's still a lot more than most states have, so it's fair to say, and in a race this close as this election will be, you can't discount a state with 18 electoral votes. So the focus has turned to Ohio lately because, in part, campaign stops in the state this week. The president gave a speech in Cleveland on Thursday, the same day that Mitt Romney spoke to a cheering crowd in Cincinnati. Appropriate, since Cleveland is heavily Democratic, while Cincinnati tends to vote Republican. But there has been some movement in Ohio of Mitt Romney showing some considerable strength. Back in April, Obama led Romney in a Rasmussen Reports survey of 500 likely Ohio voters by 4 points, 46 to 42%. But just this past week, Rasmussen came out with another poll that showed Romney ahead of the president in Ohio, 46 to 44%. Similarly, Purple Strategies, a nonpartisan polling group like Rasmussen, did a survey of 600 likely Ohio voters back in April that gave the president a 5-point lead, 49 to 44%, but it too came out with a poll just this past week, 600 likely Ohio voters, in which it shows Romney now has the lead, 48 to 45%, a significant turnaround. But, of course, these polls are going to go back and forth many times between now and Election Day. Still, the Obama campaign has to be worried. It's anyone's guess, really, and it will be at any point in the next 5 months who's going to carry Ohio when all the votes are in. But Ohio's own Ellen Ratner, yes, that Ellen Ratner, thinks she knows who's going to carry the day with Buckeye State voters and why.
I definitely think the Democrats, and it's not because of my support of Sherrod Brown or anything like that. It really, although I support him, it really has to do with the auto bailout. The Romney people and Josh Mandel have been very quiet about this auto bailout. 1 in 8 jobs in Ohio is tied to the auto industry. The bailout has really fact that these companies are doing well now has really helped jobs in Ohio. And for Romney and Josh Mandel to say no, we're not wanting to talk about it is a huge mistake.
You've probably heard about this editorial Romney wrote back in 2008, ominously entitled "Let Detroit Go Bankrupt," though I don't think he actually chose the title, in which he called for the big 3 automakers, Ford, General Motors, and Chrysler, to go through a managed bankruptcy before getting a bailout from the federal government. What you may not have heard about, unless you actually read the article, is that Mitt Romney stressed how the American auto industry was vital to our national interest in the article. Last month, Mitt Romney ruffled some feathers in Democratic circles when he said, well, I'll tell you what, let me play you this clip from The Last Word with Lawrence O'Donnell.
He wants a lot of credit, and finally, let's catch up with what he said today.
The president turned it an etch-a-sketch. What were you really saying there? Because if my memory serves me right, you were dead set against that rescue.
Here was what I said, and it's written down in an op-ed where you can take a good look at it. I said, don't write them a check. They need to go through a managed bankruptcy. They have to get rid of the excess costs of the UAW and other excess costs. And then the government can help support. The president finally came around, and they went through a managed bankruptcy, and now they're back on their feet.
Governor Strickland, how much credit is Ohio giving to Mitt Romney for saving their auto industry?
None. Zero. He deserves none. And he should be embarrassed to say what he's saying.
Says the man who drove Ohio's economy so far into the ground that the voters of that state saw fit to boot him out of office. Look at this. This is the net job loss, just in Ohio, the net job loss during Ted Strickland's time as governor of that state. The guy who defeated Ted Strickland, Governor John Kasich, actually had some interesting things to say about this whole bailout deal on Meet the Press earlier this month.
I'm glad the auto industry has been
Mitt Romney would not have bailed him out. Mitt Romney would not have bailed him out.
I'm not here to debate.
No, but that's a fact, is it not, Governor?
Well,
I mean, you said turn Ohio around were several things. You did not mention the auto bailout. The president would he not?
Let me tell you, we are thrilled with the auto industry. But give me the facts. 73,000 jobs created, okay, since 11. Do you know how many direct jobs in the auto industry? 1,800. You know what our biggest areas of job growth is right now? Business and financial services and medical. See, what we've done in Ohio is we've diversified the economy so that we have multiple ways to grow jobs. I am really happy that the auto industry is strong. I'm happy with the suppliers. It's great. But you can't say that Ohio's doing that great just because of that, because when you look at the other states in the Midwest, they're not performing like we are. We're now the #1 job creator in the Midwest, and it's because of diversity and a stable environment where businesses can feel they can invest in the state of Ohio.
There's also the question of what will happen if Romney taps Ohio Senator Rob Portman as his running mate. Portman certainly has the resume of a vice presidential running mate, had a future president, really. He's been a congressman, U.S. Trade Representative, director of the Office of Management and Budget, and now he is a United States Senator. He won his Senate race in 2010 by 18 points. He wasn't running against a weak opponent either. The guy he defeated was the current lieutenant governor of Ohio. But anyway, Portman's a great guy, but who knows what effect that will have. The Obama campaign has their own problems in the Buckeye State. According to the New York Times, you know what? Forget this. Who cares about the New York Times? I'd rather hear from Bill Cunningham, a radio talk show host out of Cincinnati, who I listen to whenever he's on Sean Hannity's Fox News program.
Can you win Ohio, Billy Cunningham? You're on the ground in Ohio. Well, I don't like that look. Come on.
It's just, remember in 2000 and 2004, we're there.
We're there.
Southwest Ohio, where the election is won us for a Republican.
Absolutely.
Exciting.
And we were there in 2006.
Boring. And right now, you have to ticket people to come to a Romney event. You got to beg them to come. There's no excitement. There's nothing in the streets of Cincinnati.
Okay, that wasn't exactly good news. Look, here's what you need to focus on election night. There are 3, I guess you could call them bellwether counties in Ohio. I went back and looked, and there are 3 counties that in the last 2 presidential elections, 2 gubernatorial elections, and 3 Senate races in Ohio, so going back 8 years, have voted for the winner of every single one of those elections. The winner of every presidential, gubernatorial, and senatorial election in Ohio in the past 8 years has gotten the most votes in each of these 3 counties. There's Lake County up there in the northeastern part of the state. It's east of Cleveland. Tuscarawas County down there in the west central part of the state, south of Akron. And Sandusky County, which is, well, it's southeast of Toledo. If recent history is any indication, then the returns from those 3 counties are going to be key on election night to predicting who will win Ohio and its 18 electoral votes, assuming no electors defect. Anyway, that's about all I have. So please follow me on Twitter. Read the articles on my blog. Share them with other people. Post a comment or 2. Actually, just 1 would suffice. Anyway, I have a blog. Please check it out. Oh, subscribe. I should probably mention that. But most importantly, go to the blog. That's all I got. Take care. Oh, finally, to all those dads out there, especially mine, have a happy Father's Day. Dad, I love you. And to everybody else, don't mess with the right-wing genius.